Question number 4, the Honourable... Now, order. Now, the House has let off a bit of steam, but I wanted to come back to order. The Honourable David Parker, question number 4.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister for Tertiary Skills and Employment. How many people were employed in the manufacturing sector when he took office in 2008? And how many people are employed in the manufacturing sector now, according to the most recent data produced by Statistics New Zealand?
The Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr Speaker, 272,000 people were employed in the manufacturing sector in September 2008 quarter, out of a total New Zealand employment of 2,194,000. The most recent data shows 247,000 people employed in manufacturing, out of a total employment of 2,227,000. It's interesting, though, Mr Speaker, it was in decline in 2008 and has been growing in 2010 and 2011. And the unique aspect of 2008, of course, is that we had already been in a recession that had been domestically generated in 2008 by the previous government. And the manufacturing sector has grown in 2010 and 2011.
The Honourable David Parker.
Are job losses in manufacturing contributed to by the high New Zealand dollar? Mr Speaker, are the job losses in manufacturing contributed to by the high New Zealand dollar? And if so, what's his government going to do about it?
The Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr Speaker, job losses in manufacturing are caused by a range of things, and it's important to note that while jobs have been declining in the manufacturing sector, they have also been increasing in sectors such as transport, primary industries, education and healthcare over the same period. It's also important to note that they declined, as I said, for some significant period in the latter half of the time of the previous government. And I think the challenge is how to grow the high-value manufacturing sector, and this government is very focused on a range of initiatives in doing that, including the Advanced Technology Institute. And I'm happy to give you some information about that, Mr Little. The Advanced Technology Institute has been announced by the government, and that will be assisting firms in providing opportunities to research and increase their innovation and help grow the value of their goods and products and help them export.
The Honourable David Parker.
Was Steve Rowntree, head of products at Flowtech, right when he said a significant reason that his company was closing, with a loss of 61 jobs, was the strength of the New Zealand dollar?
The Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr Speaker, I can't make any particular comment about Mr Rowntree's comments. Obviously, he's in a better position to judge his business than anybody else's. But it is important to note that there's been very significant opportunities for growth in New Zealand over the same period. In fact, as late as last week, I noticed that IBM and Unitech have announced plans for 400 new jobs on Unitech in terms of the ICT sector on the Unitech campus. I would also note that as late as today, or yesterday, the Stronger Canterbury Rebuild Alliance has announced that they will need 1,000 more employees.
Point of order, Grant Robertson.
Very direct question about us.
I think the member makes a reasonable point that it was quite a direct question, and in all the answer given, actually, the Minister didn't mention anything to do with the dollar at all. But the answer, I think, had gone on quite long enough. The Honourable David Parker.
Does he agree with the Prime Minister that current monetary policy is, quotes, working well, given that under the current policy the high dollar is causing exporters to shut up shop and lay off workers? Or was Ian Hunter, co-owner of Canterbury Leather International, wrong when he said the high currency meant his business was not competitive anymore, prompting a loss of 55 jobs? Or Damien Camp, Chief Executive of Pacific Aerospace, wrong when he said the high Kiwi dollar caused the laying off of 27 of his highly skilled staff?
The Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr Speaker, in answer to the first part of the member's question, I think our monetary policy is challenging for some employers at the moment, and in fact, and particularly people that sell in the US dollars, but in Australian dollars, if they sell in Australian dollars, and of course many of our manufacturers manufacturers and employers do, it's actually one of the most competitive rates it has been for many a year. There's no doubt about it that the world economies have been changing dramatically. What I'm saying is that there are opportunities for some and difficulties for others. If you look at some of the opportunities that are there, well, I'll give you some examples there. Methanex, of course, have just created about 500 jobs, weirdly enough, in Taranaki as they upgrade their operations there. We also have the Tape Communications in Christchurch, who have just won some contracts in the US, and they have increased their staff to the fact that they now have 900 employees.
Question number 5, Pesata Samloto Yunga.
Mr. Speaker, my question is to the Minister of Social Development.